All right, welcome to the first episode of Between Days, a podcast by two parents about life and stuff and
crazy technology.
I'm Owen, and that's my wife Shannon.
My husband Owen.
I'm her husband, because it would be weird otherwise, I guess. Let's get started.
All right.
So basically, the premise of the show is we just kind of talk about stuff for 30 minutes. People are welcome to join in on our Facebook page. There's a link to a Hangouts, and there's 2 people with us now after our technical glitches, which is great. Actually 3, because it's Mark and Jackie, and then my mom.
Yeah.
So that's exciting. Nana to Elsie, yeah.
Yes.
We are parents of a 20-month-old that, she'll be 20 months in 4 days.
Yeah, going on like 8.
8, teenager. It's a podcast, not necessarily about kids, but because we're parents, it will be about kids sometimes.
Yeah, probably a lot of the time.
Probably a lot of the times, actually, it'll be about kids,
and about life and about like work and
stuff,
like killing plants and like.
Well, I mean, we're not gonna like purposely set out to kill plants.
Well, yeah, but just like, or like stuff like not cleaning out your refrigerator and how horrible of a task that is.
Yeah, but you become an adult so you can put off adult things.
Yeah, like the laundry
or
and
boxes of stuff and
just
whatnot. That's what you do. You just you start a podcast.
Yeah, because you're like, oh, I can't do my laundry tonight because I've got
a podcast
to do.
Yeah, so that's where we're at right now.
Clean the fridge? That'll have to wait.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, right. So I guess we'll talk about why we started the podcast. It's to avoid. Not really to avoid stuff, but we were listening to another podcast that shall remain nameless, and Shannon said, "I think we could do a podcast," and we said, "Yeah, sure, why not? We don't have enough stuff that we like to do already."
Everybody, yeah, not that we don't have like way too much on our plates,
yeah. But
I mean, everybody's doing podcasts. It's like it's the cool thing to do right now, right?
So yeah, we started one. And that's it. And then, so from concept to creation, it was like maybe 24, 30 hours. We just got everything, came up with this idea that we would make it interactive and have people live. We have people in a chat right now. You guys can say hi if you want.
Yeah. Hey,
hi.
Hey, there we go.
And they're on the podcast. So,
and this is Mark and Jackie, very good friends of ours, and they have a daughter, Mara.
Yeah, and we'll go to the chat room occasionally whenever anybody can sit, talk, throw in their opinions, whatever they want to do. Sometimes it might be turned down, sometimes it might be turned up.
But definitely, I think for the chat, it's definitely encouraged. Like, we want, like, we don't get to see friends a whole lot. And life's crazy. And I think it's a fun way to kind of touch base with everybody and even get feedback. I mean, just before when we were having technical difficulties, Mark and Jackie were talking about potty training Mara. And I am fascinated by all of it because it is terrifying to me.
I've heard horror stories about potty training, which is scary.
Yeah, so I'm definitely ready for Elsie. I'm just going to prepare myself for Elsie to, like, poop in the middle of Target. Just, like...
It's going to happen.
Just, like, little poop roll out her shorts.
I should probably cheesecloth it through the seat.
Oh, boy.
That one's...
Whoa, that got graphic.
Yeah, sorry. Not a lot of people know what cheesecloth is.
Okay, let's not... Yeah, we don't need to go there.
So, anyways... Yeah, so that you can join in the Hangouts on our Facebook page. It'll be posted there. It's Between Days Podcast on Facebook and on Instagram. Instagram will post stuff related to the show and random things.
And the next day of that week, we'll have the podcast up on the website.
Yeah, should hopefully be up on the website tomorrow. which would be Friday. Today's Thursday.
Tomorrow's National Pizza Day.
Tomorrow's National Pizza Day and National Bagel Day on the same day.
Yeah.
It's pretty fantastic.
You know what that means?
We had pizza tonight, and we're going to get pizza tomorrow night.
That means bagel bites is what that means.
Oh, that's genius. I didn't think about that one.
Pizza in the morning, pizza in the evening.
Pizza when pizza's on a bagel.
Supper time. It's great anytime.
Pizza great. Pizza
Anytime.
great. This episode brought to you by Bagel Bites.
Bagel bites.
It's not really. We don't have sponsors. We don't have anything.
Oh my God, what if Bagel Bites sponsors us?
That'd be fantastic. I think I need to reach out to their people. We don't have anything. We're in our dining room. This is our dining room.
Yeah.
You'll hear our dogs walking around. You'll hear cars outside. You might hear our daughter wake up in the middle of the night and start singing.
Or crying.
Or crying. Yeah. Or sing crying. She does that sometimes. She likes to sing cry. You don't know if she's crying or laughing or singing a song. Yeah. You can call us, 407-212-7268. And you can leave a voicemail. You can call us during the show and be on it. That's pretty cool. Or you can leave a voicemail and we'll play it.
All right.
All right, now we got all the formalities out of the way. Sorry, guys, in the chat, it's kind of, we had to start over, so it was a little... You would have skipped that part.
Yeah, that would have been.
If we made it work the first time, and then it would have been good.
Okay.
So.
All right.
I don't know, what do we want to start with? Wow. Hey, Faith. That was our dog. We do not have gastrointestinal problems. That was our dog. I don't know if the chat mic picked it up, but that was our dog. So, yeah. I guess a little bit about us, maybe. Yeah. So for people that don't know us in the podcast world, we've been married for 6 years now. We've been together for 14 years.
Yep.
Hanging out, doing stuff. We had a daughter almost 2 years ago, which is crazy. And
we have a dog. We have 2 dogs.
Yep, 2 dogs.
Being in Faith.
One is very old, one is young, and yeah, and we just kind of, I don't know.
Yeah, we live in Winter Park, Florida, just a little bit outside of Orlando, Florida, about 30 minutes, and it's a pretty great town. We really do love it. It's a small town. It's a fun town. It's quiet, quaint, and has its pros and cons, and
yeah, just like any place, I guess.
Yeah.
And yeah, we're both kind of, I don't know. I think I'm a little bit more awkward than Shannon, maybe. I don't know. I get nervous. So I don't know why I came up with this concept of like doing a podcast and, making it the most difficult thing to do, but I did, and it's a fun departure from our norm.
Which kind of leads us into one of our show topics tonight, which is being introverted parents.
Yeah, we kind of are homebodies, I think. I mean, we're definitely introverted. We're homebodies. We hang out, and I think we were that way before. And then having Elsie kind of, I don't know, man. You live by their schedule, and then it's just like, that's it. That's like it. So then it just becomes really easy to just like hole up in your house and not, like, you go to the park or Target and you're like, oh man, I am exhausted. It's
really just like, it's filling that time till the next nap.
Yeah, it's the gap between naps. It's like what you work on that.
Yeah.
And you got to entertain during that time.
Which Elsie's about to drop her her first nap.
Oh, well, she went through a week of not taking it, which was weird. And then all of a sudden, she's just like, wait. Yeah. I want that back.
Which that's another topic for another show. But
yeah, we'll talk about sleep one day.
Yeah, she loves her sleep, and I love her sleeping.
Yeah.
So, dropping naps, that's a terrifying. That's just
I don't know what we're
terrifying.
Gonna do when she drops all of them.
I don't know. I don't know how do you feel that? How do you feel the time? What do you do?
Yeah, really. Like
you just get a bounce house. You get a bounce house in the backyard, and that's it.
Yeah, done. Let's do it. There's people across the street had one for.
They did.
2 weeks.
Our neighbors had a. They like our neighbors got a bounce house.
Like a wave slide
A
thing.
giant bounce house. Like, it was giant. It passed their house, and they have a 2-story house, and it was in their backyard, and you could see it, and then you start, like, looking out the window, and you're like, what is that? It's a giant wave / pool / what's going on back there?
I'm going to give a little treat to our viewers.
And
And
so I started, we drove by it a few times, and I think it's a bounce house. It's got to be a bounce house. So we start looking things up, and we find an image online, and we're like, it's definitely a bounce house. But they had it back there for like 2.5 weeks.
yeah, I don't know. Then they would break it down at night and then set it up in the morning. And like, I guess the kids just hung out in this like giant wave something or other. I don't even know. Maybe it was this one, the drag race one. But it was over. Oh, I think it was this one. It was over their house, and they have a 2-story house, and it was crazy.
Yeah. So maybe that's it. Maybe their kids were dropping their naps. Maybe their kids were like,
I think they're like teenagers.
hey man, hey.
I guess, yeah. Maybe that's when it happened. Oh, jeez. I don't know.
God, I hope so.
My mom is in the chat. Maybe I dropped my nap when I think I still took naps when I was like 15.
Honey, you haven't dropped your nap yet.
I guess not. Yeah. I guess I'm still.
You're still like, if you had a chance, you would. Owen would take all the naps.
Yeah.
So, anyways.
Yeah, we
kind of got off
started
topic
talking
there.
about naps, but.
So yeah, being introverted parents, I think it's just I think it's hard because you definitely go to this. You're like, it's new. It's all like new and it's scary. And I think being a new parent, I think it kind of hits you into another world of like introvertedness where you just want to, at least for me,
Well,
I was
I think-
I want to stay home. I want to try to figure all this out. I don't want anybody around. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I think you deal with it a little bit more than me, and it's kind of like we were talking about it the other day, and I think it's like, I equated it to, is that even a word? But whatever. To like dating, and like we haven't dated in.
Well,
like,
I have you?
No. I'm just saying, we haven't dated in like 14, 15 years.
I would hope not. Actually, I went on a date like 2 weeks ago.
Oh, great. Well, thanks. So, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, you deal with it, again, more than me because you're home with Elsie all the time. But, like, I don't know. That's got to be weird. Like, you meeting, like, if you go to stuff or, like, at the library and somebody comes up to you. And
so being kind of like an introverted parent is definitely weird with, like, making friends. Like, mom friends, parent friends, dad friends, whatever. Because you go to these things, like these, like, library story times or whatever to fill that in between nap time. And, you're like, it's just weird. I think just as a parent, you always feel like people are judging you. Like, I don't know. I don't know if that's right or if it's that we're all just so, like, kind of weird, like, insecure as parents, or like none of us know what we're doing. So it's just this weird feeling where you're just kind of like, oh my God, are they judging me? Or oh my God, stop looking at me. Or oh God, Elsie, get up off the floor.
Yeah.
You know, so you're like, I don't know. So you go to these things and then you start talking, like somebody comes up to you like, oh, hey, how old is she? Or like, do you come here often?
Do you come here often?
You're like, yeah, actually, every once in a while.
Has another parent come up to you and been like, do you come here often?
I've had a parent, I've had people who are like, oh, is this a good story time? Do you come to this one often? Like,
we should do an entire show on parent pickup lines.
Yeah, that'd be pretty good,
We should mark it, and we'll put it out in the chat, and we'll just have one at a time. We'll try and get all the parents we know. I think all the parents we know are in the chat right now.
No, Mark and Jackie, Dante, Angie.
Yeah, we'll get a bunch of people in the chat, and just we'll have a one-liner best parent pickup line contest.
That'd be great.
Prizes that we don't have.
No. Hey, we're almost sponsored by...
We're working on a sponsorship with Bagel Bites.
Bagel Bites. So everybody might get some Bagel Bites. So anyways.
No promises.
I think it's tricky because you go to these places and it's just awkward because it's kind of like this weird thing. It is. It's like, it's a perfect example. It's kind of like this weird thing of dating where you're like, you have to like kind of find somebody that fits with you and kind of fits your parenting style and kind of fits also your personality style. Or, so perfect example is we were in a restaurant, little Greek restaurant, getting lunch one day, and there were these parents that were kind of sitting just at the booth beyond us, and they, Elsie and their son were about the same age, and so they're like kind of like cooing and saying hi to each other and waving and dancing, doing all sorts of stuff. And the parents, as we're like getting ready to leave, kind of making somewhat communication across the tables, and oh yeah, how is he? Oh yeah, whatever. They're like, hey, you guys seem like cool parents. Like, we're like, oh, yeah, no, we're not. We're really not. And they're like, oh, well, maybe we could get, like, your phone number. And, like, we could all hang out sometime. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool, yeah, whatever. And I give me your phone number.
I didn't talk to them, like, once.
And then they never call.
Yeah,
so it's like that weird
it is
thing.
Like dating.
Where it's like dating. It's totally like dating. Like, you get picked up. And then you're like, oh, cool. Maybe I'm going to have a mom friend.
We're cool parents. All right.
And then they don't call. So then you're like, what did I do? What, maybe?
We said hi wrong.
It's weird. I don't know. It's like everything changes.
It is definitely a change. It's like the dating life becomes in the daytime and not the nighttime. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think it's definitely like, I think being introverted parents and like having parent friends, like it's definitely, or like, finding kind of your niche within like friend groups and having play dates and things like that. I'm not good at it. I'm terrible at it. I apologize to Elsie all the time. I'm like, listen, kid, I'm sorry. I have a lot of friends.
Yeah.
But you know what? I'm your friend, and let's go to the park.
Yeah, the park is great.
And it's hard because there's definitely times where like you're out, and I was at a like little story time like 2 weeks ago, and doing our little thing, and Elsie, it had rained, so there was a bunch of puddles after the story time, and it's Penelope Peacock in Winter Park. It's pretty great. It's Mondays.
Working on a second sponsorship.
Yeah.
We're working on them.
It's pretty amazing. So we go outside after it's like a 20-minute thing, and we go outside, and usually there's a train that passes, and everybody kind of waits around for the train, and all the like kind of like mom groupie cliques, whatever, kind of start hanging out, and Elsie, it had rained, so there was some puddles while we were waiting, and I was like, oh, Elsie, do you want to come stomp in this puddle? And Elsie was kind of stomping in the puddle, and this mom got mad, man. She got so mad. Her kid her kid kind of came over. She like shot me a glare when I asked Elsie if she wanted to stomp in the puddle, and I was like, oh no. So Elsie starts stomping, she's hanging out, just having fun. And her son comes over, who's Elsie's age, and he starts kind of trying to stomp in the puddle with Elsie. And the mom yells across the area, you're not stomping in puddles. We don't do that. I'm like, oh, God. And I'm like, and then she shoots me another look, and I was like, we don't do that.
You should stop influencing her child to stomp in puddles.
So it's intense. It's just intense because you just don't ever, like, you just feel like, I don't know.
So
it's rough.
Because of that, now we just spray the hose out front and let Elsie stomp in all the puddles out front of the house. Because we don't want to get yelled at by somebody.
Yeah, but there's also there's lots of amazing parents out there. I think it's just finding, it's tricky. I think it's tricky finding the ones that that mesh, I guess. I'm very thankful for friends like Mark and Jackie and Dante and Angie who are parents that we can kind of lean on, and instances like that. That's been amazing because that's kind of organically happened as we've all kind of become parents around the same times and stuff. So, but yeah, rough stuff, man, becoming introverted parents, trying to make parent friends. It's really weird.
Yeah, it's definitely a different experience. I think it kind of is like a fearful experience, I guess. Like there's a lot of, I don't know if it's fear or anxiety or what it is. I don't know. But it's kind of, I guess for me it's fear. I don't know, kind of like that. You don't want to be judged by somebody.
Yeah.
So there's a little bit of fear in there.
I think because we all feel insecure about it, because it is. It's all new. I mean, every day is new, and so I think you just always kind of feel like, man, am I doing this right? Do they know that I'm doing it wrong? Is there a wrong way to do it? So I think that's just the tricky thing, is like, I think maybe you just never find it. Maybe you never, like, I mean, I hear my mom say all the time, I didn't know what I was doing.
I don't think you ever know what you're doing. Yeah, I don't know. I think being a parent, it's scary. You don't realize it until you're actually a parent.
Yeah,
and
you're
then,
thrown into it. Yeah,
then you're like, oh my God, this is.
I thought this was gonna be easy.
There's a lot to do here. Like, this is a lot.
Which kind of, I guess, goes into what happened yesterday. Which is like always something new. It's just like a new thing every day. You kind of have to try to like walk them through. This is totally going to be a parenting podcast.
It probably is going to be 90% about parenting and like maybe 2% about the Winter Olympics for the next week and a half. Something.
It's going to be a mix in there. So I'm sorry for anybody who wants to kind of listen in and that isn't a parent. But if you're not a parent yet, man, just save these, because we'll have some pro tips for you.
I don't know that there'll be pro tips. There'll be tips.
A few might be pro tips.
It's true. We might have something.
I mean, Mark and Jackie were just telling us about ponies. Apparently, guys, so Mark and Jackie, real quick, our good friends, they said that potty training is kind of like, it's horrifying. Slightly.
I'm terrified of it.
So, but they were saying Mara has had amazing luck with ponies. I read a story about you have to have like potty cakes. They have like full on
potty parties,
birthday events in the bathroom.
In the bathroom?
Yes, it's in the bathroom. You like fully. I have read that you.
Do you invite her friends?
No. It's just you, and like actually, even if there's any other siblings or like whatever, like they have to leave the house. Like they go to the park and they go.
What if you have like another 2-year-old and you're like, get out of the house?
You gotta have individual potty
just took
parties.
A dump. You gotta leave.
So you do this full potty party, man. You decorate the whole bathroom. You like do it up. You get a birthday cake. And, the cake, I mean, it's quote unquote birthday cake, but it's got to have like some kind of like
poop birthday cake. I think you got to do what you got to do sometimes.
Yeah. I mean, hey, I'll probably have, honestly, when that time comes with Elsie, I'll probably have like a cake with ponies in the cake with Twizzlers as the candles. And I'll be like, Elsie, please just poop on the body.
Twizzlers will be a good candle. But
I'll have all the food.
Yeah.
So.
Speaking of pro tips.
Yeah.
Googly eyes.
So Elsie is horrified of, she's horrified of our vacuum.
We have a robot vacuum. Mm-hmm. It's not the name brand robot vacuum, but it's a robot vacuum. And Elsie just like, it's not like scream in terror fear of it, but it's like, she curls up on your leg and just kind of like
holds on.
Yeah, she's really, you can tell. She's just like,
it makes her a little nervous.
It sketches her out. She's like, I don't want this thing coming near me.
Yeah. So if you like, but if she's like if she sees him across the room.
Oh, she's waving. She's like, hi.
She's like, hey, man.
Yeah. Hey, come on over here.
How you doing?
And then, I mean, maybe it's modeling. Maybe we're like, we say hi from a distance.
Yeah. There you go. Introverted parents.
Yeah. Oh, crap. Shannon came up with a good idea.
So I've been kind of trying to like ease her into the situation and get her comfortable with the robot vacuum. He's like a Roomba. And so, every once in a while when we hear him like stuck on something, we'll like go and help him, and she's really into that. But then once he starts running again, she gets kind of nervous. So I thought, let's get some googly eyes. Let's get some googly eyes and put googly eyes on the vacuum.
It was a great idea.
So we put googly eyes on top of the vacuum, and I think I posted a picture of it in our on our Instagram, which is Between Days Podcast on Instagram.com, and or just Instagram, whichever one you use if you don't use the app. Yeah. So we put the googly eyes on the vacuum, and she's pretty into it. She's getting a little bit more into him. He's got character now. He's got a little bit more personality, and so
We need to name him. I don't know what to name him,
we
but
should probably name
we
him.
need to come up with a name.
But there's still like a little bit like he's like we're still working on that friendship right now. He's now I think we've hit that next level and we're getting a little bit closer. So I hope the googly eyes have worked because I don't want him to be freaked out by him. I want him to be able to run during the day because he gets stuck on a lot of stuff. So I don't like him really running.
This guy takes steps too.
Yeah.
We have a little step down in our living room.
Oh man.
And
he just powers through it.
He just flies off that thing and just keeps on going.
Yeah.
And it's fantastic. I mean, he cleans the bottom room, but I don't know. It's
yeah, he's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
So we're definitely hoping that friendship flourishes and keeps growing. Anybody who has any pro tips on that would be helpful. But yeah, so now I think we're just gonna put googly eyes on everything, which I don't have a problem with. Because,
I mean, it's good. Like you said, she's kind of warming up to it. She's a little bit timid still, which is like weird. And then like today when I was like, I did some searching because I was like, man, I wonder. They say like anger is like learned thing, anger and hate and stuff like that. But I guess love is innate. And then but fear is apparently learned as well, which I thought was really weird because, like, I don't know what, like, Elsie has been very, like, she's not afraid of the dogs, which could, like, injure her. Yeah. She's not afraid of steps. Like, we have steps on our front porch, and she'll run out the front door and she'll try and take a step off of it, not even think about it, and she would fall face first if she could, but maybe it's because she doesn't understand it. But also,
or like cactuses.
Yeah, she runs up to like anything. Like she's been relatively fearless.
Which is like, the innocence of a child.
Right. Yeah. So then it has to be that it's learned. Now they did say there are certain things like the fear of water. The fear of spiders, snakes, things like that, things that are dangerous, apparently they speculate could be innate. At like where some kids, they found the further they live away from the ocean, they're more likely to be afraid of water as they grow up.
Weird.
Which is interesting.
Yeah.
But I don't understand how she's afraid of the robot vacuum. And then as I thought about it, I was like, I thought maybe it's the noise. Maybe she doesn't like the noise.
Yeah.
But you use the other vacuum and she walks around holding on to it, like trying to help you out and vacuum.
Yeah.
So it's just interesting to me. And I don't know if there's like, I mean, we're not experts on anything, really. I mean, we have like our jobs and stuff like that we're pretty good at.
I don't want to say we're experts on that either.
Yeah, but we're pretty good at them. We know a lot about we don't know a little bit about a lot of stuff, but that's a topic that I'm like, I think I'm just going to do a lot of Googling on because it's interesting to me because I don't understand. I don't know where that comes from. And as a parent, I'd like to make sure that like, if it is modeling. I mean, we don't run away from the vacuum, so I'm not sure if it's...
You know who does, though? The dogs.
The dogs do. And, and she does pant sometimes like the dogs. She is like kind of really good friends with the dogs.
And I mean, so the Roomba, or he's not a Roomba, but that could make sense because he was vacuuming the living room and Faith, one of our dogs was laying down and sleeping, and
oh man, I forgot about that.
He didn't realize. I mean, he didn't see her, and so he came up on her while she was asleep and bumped into her, and she just about like had a heart attack. So I think it does make sense where the whole like it's an interesting idea that it is learned and not necessarily innate.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it is. I mean, I think I need to read more. I kind of just skimmed this thing. That's what we do in today's day and age is, if we make it past the headline, we're doing good.
Yeah.
So.
But, hey, loud noises and, trains scare
Yeah, but then she also likes them.
Oh, she loves them, but when they're coming and they're making loud
That makes
noises and
sense,
chewing, she's just horrified.
It seems dangerous at that
Yeah.
point. Yeah, that makes sense. And like, but she loves airplanes from afar, at least. I mean, she loves everything from afar. But
You have 17 items in your Amazon cart,
Oh,
including watching 2 90 PCs.
Alexa's.
there's 17 items.
Yes, for work.
Oh, jeez. Do you guys hear this?
And step beads and string. Would you like to hear the rest?
No. What? Well, like, this is the other thing. Technology. Tonight, I don't know what's going on, but like, that thing lately has been going off so much. I was upstairs earlier today, and I said something. I'm hanging out, and like, we're in the playroom. There's also an Echo Dot in the playroom. The one down here just starts blabbering, and I'm like, what the heck is going on? Like, I'm just to give you guys reference, our playroom is on one end of the house. The other Dot is on the other end of the house downstairs, and it just started going off just like that. And I'm like, I don't understand why. We didn't just say something. I'm going to have to listen back to it and see what we said. Like,
Yeah. She's kind of got a mind of her own lately. She's just really like she's
talking about Alexa.
Yeah, she's.
I don't want to say it too loud. She's like, next thing you know, she's gonna be, I do have a mind of my own, Shannon.
I was on a conference call the other day, and
Oh my God.
we're setting up a few different Alexas, and at the communities, and I had said her name a few times, and I don't know what happened, but she just blared music through the house 100%
She heard
volume.
play the Sonos on the most obnoxious song ever in every room as loud as possible, please, right now.
It was so loud and so blaring as I was trying to explain why and when we were going to set these Alexas up. I don't like to call it Alexa.
Yeah, just call it
it's
an echo. Yeah.
But everybody on the conference call was saying Alexa. And
Yeah, I guess you'd call it. I mean, you could call it whatever.
well, I was thinking call it the Echo.
I mean, she's
and
got
when
a
you
personality
say
of her own.
Alexa, it'll play this, and this for the residents and Alzheimer's and dementia and blah, 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 and explaining it. And she just went wild,
Oh my
man.
God.
She was like, let's blare this party music. Let's turn it up. It was
I
so
think it was like
loud.
toddler
It was-
dance
oh,
party or
God,
something
it was so
ridiculous.
obnoxious.
And
Yeah, it
like,
was terrible.
I don't
I was like,
understand.
oh, pardon me. It's just 1 second while I mute my phone.
We've never had the music that loud, yet she's like, here you go, party time.
Yeah.
So anyway, sorry about that weird echo interruption.
Yeah. 17 items in my cart.
Yeah, that's nuts.
Got work stuff to order.
Yeah, really. I think I have like 3 in my cart. I do, but speaking of Amazon, it's way too easy to order stuff from Amazon. But also, like, it's funny because your shopping habits on Amazon then are reflected in real life. Like how we'll go to Target and we'll get a bunch of stuff and put it in our cart, but you can't save it for later like you can on Amazon.
Yeah.
So then you're just like, do I really need this right now? And then you might have a cart full of stuff, and then you get to the register and you have 3 things because you've just slowly like gone and put things back.
Yeah, totally. I'm all about window shopping, and even like online. Like I totally do the same. Like I put
I
everything
browse
like
constantly
save for later. I put it in my cart because it gets that feeling of like I just purchased.
Yeah, but then
that.
also,
But then you save it for later. But then I get really anxious when I get up to the register at Target and stuff because I can't do that.
Right.
I'm like, oh my God, I don't need any of this stuff. What was I doing? And then I'm like, as she's checking me out, I'm like, here's my pile of things that I don't actually need. I won't be purchasing.
I accidentally picked those up. I don't.
Hi, how are you doing? Can I just save this pile for later?
Just add this to my save later pile.
Target, do you have a save for later pile?
Speaking of pro tips from earlier, Amazon putting stuff in save for later. Jeez, I just slammed the mic. Sorry. Got excited here. Putting stuff in your cart, save for later, is actually beneficial because then, and I do this a lot, but sometimes it's disappointing, Then when you go back to your cart, at the top, it shows you, like, these items have changed since you've added them to your cart. And
Yes.
because they're still considered in your cart since they're saved for later. So then you can see when stuff, like if it gets
Gone
$20
sale,
cheaper,
Totally.
usually it's like 20 cents, not $20.
Yeah.
But like, that's great. But then the problem is then you're like, oh, well, now is later and I need it. So it's 20 cents off. I might as well
Might
get
as
it.
well buy it.
Yeah. And then you buy it and it drops $3 and you're like, oh, great.
I've been having the opposite issue where stuff has been
Oh,
rising.
increasing? Yeah. That's great too.
And then I'm like, oh man, I totally shouldn't have saved that for later.
No.
But yeah, so sometimes you should, sometimes you shouldn't. Moral of the story, I guess just buy what you need. But
Well, that's what everybody should do.
there's like that really great thing. There's like a little like meme going around, and it's like Target. You don't go to Target for what you need. Target tells you what you need.
Yeah. There's
Target.
Oh, man.
You go into Target and Target just tells you like, hey, you need this, and you need to buy me, and you need to go over to the toiletry and grocery aisle, even though you don't need any groceries. You just like look at all these snacks that you need to buy, or like buy these like trinkets for your house that can't fit any more trinkets.
Yeah. I mean, there's like, it is funny because there is like the whole Target meme of like, I mean, there was the one, I was like, when I'm going into Target for just one thing, and then like they come out with like 15 bags,
yeah.
and then that constantly happens to us.
Yeah.
Like,
That's why I like, it's like Costco too. Where it's like, oh, do you want to go to
God,
Costco? No. Do you want to go to Target? Yes, but no.
I know. I'll go to Target anytime. I love Target. I don't know why. They got everything you need there.
Yeah, Target's
like,
pretty great.
There's food, there's electronics, there's Hot Wheels, there's baby stuff.
Sometimes there's coffee. Starbucks is
No, there's
in
always
Target.
coffee. Yeah, there's always coffee. It's great. I mean,
Not all of them.
not all. I guess not. No.
No.
Huh. Target should work on that.
I know.
I mean, our local Target, Faith.
It's fake.
Our dog has a snoring problem, and she's under the dining room table right now. So,
Hanging out with us. Or she's really overhearing about
Yeah,
Target
really.
because she
She's
can't
like-
ever go.
she's like, "Oh God, when are they gonna stop talking?"
She's like, I
It's
want to
a-
go to Target so
It's a
bad.
podcast, Faith. That's what people do. They talk on a
I've
podcast.
always heard about Target.
I don't think they allow dogs in Target. Although I think we've seen service dogs in Target.
Well,
maybe.
obviously, yeah.
But-
I mean, we could take Faith in there. We could take them both in there. We just need a little vest.
Oh, Penelope cannot go in Target.
She
Anyways,
could.
no. But our Target has a Starbucks inside of it. I guess not all of them do. And it has one in the parking lot. Like,
That sounds like there's like a party in the parking lot.
No.
Like
There's,
baristas are just like, this Target is so amazing.
Well,
We
it
make
needs
coffee outside too.
two Starbucks. It's in the shopping
Shopping center.
center parking lot, but it's in the same vicinity. Yeah.
Yeah. So can we get a what for Target and
Target,
Starbucks?
man, we're just loading it. We're not endorsed by anybody. We're not sponsored. We're just loading this thing up with free advertising for all these companies. I don't even know. So we don't know the rules to podcasting.
No, I have no idea what we're doing.
We came up with show topics. We kind of loosely followed them. I think we're at a half an hour ish, maybe. I don't know. The timer on my recorder's broken. Like we're just kind of winging it, really. Shannon's leaving. She's done. She's gone. She's over it. She's just like Faith. She's just, I'm out of here. I don't need this podcast anymore. Oh no, she got more wine for us. So kind of, yeah. Like again, we don't know what we're doing. I'm sure we'll figure it out.
People are loving it. They're like, oh, jeez.
So I mean, I think my mom's holding strong.
Yeah, I mean.
Thank you, Mom. So we're just kind of winging it, and it'll get better over time. I'm sure. Maybe it'll get worse. Maybe it's just all gonna go downhill from here. And
Right.
we started on the peak, and all the shows are just gonna be just downhill
Or
Speaking of downhill.
yeah. So that leads us into
No.
yeah, you know what? We didn't talk about her. And that with buying open food items.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you could do that at Target. We've done it before.
Yeah.
I did it the other morning that's wine. Sorry, that sounds weird on mic. I apologize. I did it the other day at 7-Eleven. On my way into work, I buy these like snack bars for breakfast because I leave really early in the morning and I make coffee and I don't make breakfast. So sometimes I stop at 7-Eleven. And I got a breakfast bar and I got to work and it was open and I didn't open it. And then I was frustrated because that was my breakfast. Like that was, there's nothing at work. Like we have chips, like potato chips. I'm not going to eat a bag of potato chips for breakfast.
Your coffee.
Yeah, we have potato chips and coffee. Yum. So it was open and it's not like a food item that could be open.
That's gross.
I mean, I would think any food item you buy from a store, you don't want to be open.
No.
But there are certain food items where if it's open, you're like, I'll eat it.
Like about your grapes?
Well, yeah. I mean, grapes are always going to be open because people try to...
Well, I mean, I'm not sure
what's...
what other items would be okay to be opened.
I don't know. I'm trying to think. They're like a box of... Fate's out of here now, too. You hear it click-clacking around. Like a box of cereal, if the lid's open on it.
Yeah.
Like, that's okay. I think we've bought a tub of ice cream before, and the little plastic was off of it, and like just peeled back a little, and we were like, we'll eat it. Like,
whatever.
There's some things that you would you're okay with. I think, but these...
The majority of things, it's not okay. Yeah, totally.
Yeah, no, these are like almost, they're not granola bars, but they're like granola bars. So I'm not going to eat it. I didn't eat it. It's on my desk.
Did you take it back?
No, I didn't. Can you take stuff back to 7-Eleven?
Yeah. You just walk in there and you're like, hey, I bought these yesterday or I bought these today and they were opened. The guy at 7-Eleven, whoever's at 7-Eleven.
Yeah, but like then what's gonna stop people from like? There's 4 bars in this particular thing. Like, I'll open it, eat a bar, take it back, and be like, oh, this was open.
Well, I mean,
I guess they just throw it away.
Hopefully, everybody's being honest and they're just not like trying stuff out and saying that it was open.
I once heard a story about a lady that would go to Publix because they take anything back. And she would buy laundry detergent, dump it into an empty container, fill the one that she just bought up with water, and bring it back to Publix. And she did that for like 6 months. And they just kept taking them back. Like, there's crappy people. I saw a lady...
It was me. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, it wasn't us. I saw somebody returning an iron to the other big box... store. I'm gonna try and stop using company names. I guess I don't know if we're supposed to or not.
I'm like, you're talking bad
Like,
about us.
you guys and your 2 listeners, you need to shut it down right now. After episode 1, just shut it down. We'll be like, okay,
all right, well,
yeah, that's fine.
we're going to do some laundry and stuff that we should be doing.
Yeah, I guess we'll just get back to being adults. I guess do stuff around the house.
But yeah, no, I think that's definitely like.
So I should.
It's
take
you
them
should
back.
totally take them back. I mean, now it's going to be a little bit weird because it was like.
It's like 4 days later.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's weird. You can't be like, hey, I bought these 4 days ago. And
I also don't
okay.
get receipts from 7-Eleven.
I would take it back in there. The next time you go in there and be like, hey, I know this is moldy and weird, and I bought it like 2 months ago.
I know these are soft and kind of like cereal-esque right now, but I bought these like a while ago, and I promised they were open when I left here.
Which, it's another store that does that, and I'm just gonna say their name.
No, probably shouldn't name it. Just give a hint around maybe the logo color.
It starts with an owl.
Oh yeah, God,
and
that
ends
store.
with a D.
So let's just. All right, well there it is. It's the store. In case anybody didn't get that, it's the store where they don't have bags, and it's not in LA because we live in Florida. It's just like they don't have bags.
Starts with an owl. Ends with a D.
Yeah. There you go. That place.
So that place, every single time we've gone in there, there's so much stuff open, like so much packaged items that are open. Like we went in there maybe 2 months ago, and there were just like pita pockets all over the bread area.
Yeah.
Like
No,
somebody opened the pita bag and was like, let me try these pita pockets.
There was like a chip bag. Like, you go in and they force you down like all the chips at first or whatever. At least at our Aldi, it's all chips in the beginning.
I thought you weren't saying names.
At least at our L.
Starts with an L.
Ends
and
with
the
a
D.
D. Oh, God, I'll beep it. I'll put a beep over. Boop. No, that'll be it. I'll just boop. At our store, you go in, it's all chips in the beginning, and there were like 4 bags of chips just open, just hanging out, like, and one of them you wanted to buy, and you grabbed it. All the air went out of it.
I was like,
Open.
well, free samples. Maybe they're trying to be like...
The other big box store, they have to pay to get into.
That gives a lot of samples.
That gives a lot of like you could eat dinner there if you wanted to.
Maybe they're trying to do that, but they're like, we don't need to man them.
We've already mentioned their name, but we're not doing it again. You pay us. I'm just kidding. We don't really care about money.
So,
but if you want to donate on our website, feel free.
So I think that like it's weird because you go in there and I've so many times I've tried to try that store again and again because so many people are like, oh, it's so great and they offer organic stuff and that's really great prices and they have a great selection of things, and every single time I go in there there's like there's a bag of trail mix that's open, there's like bread everywhere, there's like hummus that's just like opened and been sampled, and I don't get it. I don't understand it. So
well, I think people either absolutely love that store or can't stand it. Like there's no middle ground of like, oh yeah, I go there for a couple of things. Like it's like I love it or maybe it's just ours. I feel like we've gone to 3 different ones and all
not a fan.
Yeah, I don't know. There's another one that's related to that one and they're the same way, hit or miss. It's just stores in general, I think. It's a weird concept. Like
stores are a weird concept?
No, I think food stores, not stores in general. It's just weird. Like I don't want to sound like a hippie, but if we could grow our own food, it'd be great. But potato chips don't grow on trees.
I don't know what I was talking about. I love stores. So
I love stores too. I like the
Owen hates grocery shopping.
Oh
so
my God, I do.
We
just did a pickup service, and that was fantastic.
Stores.
Yeah, I don't like grocery stores. So that's true. But the pickup service that we used, that was great. It wasn't. I don't like delivery in general. I don't know why. I'm weirded out by delivery.
Food delivery.
Obviously Amazon delivery I love.
Yeah, I'm kind of wondering where that's like.
I think it's food delivery.
Who are you? You don't like stores. You don't like delivery. Like you love. I don't know. My husband has left the building.
Yeah,
he
apparently
loves stores.
I'm different. I do love stores. I love.
And he loves delivery because there's a new Amazon package at our door every single day.
I order way too much online, but I think
he's not being honest.
No, I do order a lot of stuff online, but I think it's food delivery that I don't like.
Well, yeah, we tried out a food delivery service at one time, and it was like vegetables, fresh, and like it was really,
man, I forgot
really
that was
bad.
years ago. Yeah, and that was weird. But
I thought
even
that's what you were referring to.
No, like even like restaurants. I don't know why I don't like getting food delivered to the house.
Oh.
Like, and just stuff like that. That's like maybe local delivery, if that makes sense, versus like having stuff shipped. I don't know why it's different to me, but yeah. So we tried that grocery pickup because, again, I like to go pick stuff up that's local. I don't know why. I just feel like.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, and that was pretty good.
I'm like, deliver it all to me. Deliver it all. I'll take everything.
I guess we should try grocery delivery service.
Yeah, but then my thing is you got to pay for it, and I'm not willing to pay the extra.
That's why
$30 for it. And I'm not willing. Yeah, I'm not willing to pay the extra. Like, Here's 15% of your grocery bill because I delivered this to you.
Well, and that's like the local restaurants we have right outside the neighborhood. It's like $2.50 to get delivered, and it's like you're driving less than a mile.
We're a bunch of Scrooges. We're like,
I could walk up there.
I'm getting an extra set of egg rolls for
we're
that.
we're also gonna tip them too. So
I'm not giving you $2 in delivery. You give me.
I'd rather give them $4 in tip.
I'd rather get 2 more egg rolls.
Oh, yeah. Or yeah, that's true.
But yeah, so I think that I think that you should totally go back and return those to 7-Eleven. I would go in there.
I mean, I'd have to do it tomorrow on my way home from.
I would do it. I would go in there and make a huge stink of them, like slam them on the counter and be like,
"These are all crumbled." They're not, but they would be because I slammed them on the counter.
What is this?
What do you serve here? What is this? Some kind of gas station?
Or you could just go in and be like, "Hey, I made you these granola bars. I hope that you like them." And put them in a little package in a container.
That's true. Yeah, I'll put them in a little Tupperware.
Yeah.
Wrap them in a paper towel.
And then, you're essentially just, comes full circle. You're just giving them back to 7-Eleven.
Yeah.
Did you throw them out?
No, I think they're still on my desk.
Oh, well, there you go. So anyways, when we were talking about earlier, like everything just going downhill, like this podcast.
Yeah, we've kind of just gone off the rails.
Yeah, it's a little
I think
crazy.
we're like an hour in.
I'm sure that our listeners
I apologize.
right now and tomorrow or eventually in this podcast are probably like, wow, this is crazy. What are they talking about?
I guess it's just going to be a conversation.
Yeah.
I mean,
we've got light topics and conversation. You guys can call in and
407-212-7268.
and suggest topics, or you can leave them on our social media.
Yeah, you can leave a voicemail anytime on that phone number if you want, and we'll listen to it.
But not while we'll be watching the Winter Olympics.
No, I mean, we'll still pay attention during the Winter Olympics. But, I don't know if I'm allowed to do this, but there's this video of this guy. A streaming TV service allows you to select your favorite Winter Olympic sports, which starts tomorrow, by the way, February 9th, which hopefully is the day that this podcast gets posted. So it would be today if you're listening now, or February 9th, we'll just say, because you can listen anytime you want. It starts on February 9th, and there's a live streaming TV service that allows you to select all your sports. And we're going through the sports, and we're selecting all the ones we like. Curling, we love curling. Figure skating, you have to watch. Speed skating, that stuff. There were a couple that we didn't really. I don't remember them, but
there are a few that were like I've never heard of that I'm pretty excited about.
Yeah,
I guess it would be good if I could remember them. But the Winter Olympics seems like it's going to be pretty amazing.
Well, so the one was skeleton racing, and you were like, I selected the little heart on it, and I was like, I love skeleton racing. You were like, what's that? I never even heard of that.
Because to me, like in my mind, the way my mind works is I see like all these little skeletons, like
they just throw them down a bobsled course.
But yeah, like since it's Winter Olympics, I immediately see them as either like these like illustrated little like skeletons that are like skiing or like bobsledding and like the like Mickey-esque like illustrations, like,
yeah, I guess
like
like
the
a
old
little
timey
animated...
like little skeleton, and I love it. So I'll probably be slightly disappointed in the actual skeleton racing because it's not going to be a real little skeleton.
Yeah, but I beg to differ because skeleton racing is nuts.
Somebody should probably illustrate all of the Winter Olympics with like.
They should. So I did a thing for the Winter Olympics when I was in Calgary, and they are very strict about like everything. So if you illustrated anything, like you'd have to get approval, like when it comes to their branding, like you can't, like there's certain things that you can't put next to each other. Like,
oh, weird.
Like I think it was like a figure skater and a hockey player, like that illustration couldn't be next to each other. Which interesting fact. Sorry, mentally just going around. an Olympic goalie for the U.S. hockey team. His first Olympics. He is from Winter Park, Florida.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's going to be a goalie in the Olympics for the Olympic hockey team. Pretty interesting. So,
That's cool.
So this guy, this is from a YouTube video called Great Big Story. I'll put it in the show notes. This is a little like him talking about skeleton, and I'll just play a little snippet of it. But like, it's crazy. Like 90 miles an hour.
People have died doing this, and I know that. But going 90 miles per hour is so damn fun.
So.
No, this is skeleton racer.
My name is John Daly,
He's a skeleton
and I'm a
racer.
two-time Olympic skeleton slalom.
So that's all I'll play from it. But just like that mentality of like, people have died from this.
I want to see this video.
We'll watch it. We'll keep watching it. But it like, and
So they go down the hill. So it's kind of like bobsledding, but it's like a low.
Well, it's like the luge. The luge.
Yeah.
They go down on their feet. It's just one guy, one sled, and he goes down face first, 90 miles an hour down a bobsled track. Like, so when he goes down the track, there's the bobsled tracks, like they're in the ice, like grooved into it, and he puts his like skeleton sled in one side of the track. So one side rides in the track and the other side rides in between the two tracks, and he just flies down it. Like, it's nuts. It's insane.
That's crazy.
So it'll be pretty fun to watch. I
Yeah.
think I'll post this video.
Now, how do they score them? Is it just who goes the fastest,
Speed.
or so it's
Yeah,
just
all
solely
speed. It's
speed?
just like bobsledding.
Man, that's cool.
Yeah. So like, I'll post the video in the show notes so people can take a look at it. But it's insane. Like, it's, I don't know. It's got, I mean, part of me, I'm like, I would love to do that.
Yeah.
But then it's like back to the whole fear thing is like, I also don't want to die. Like,
Yeah. Well, yeah.
like if I could do it and it was like a roller coaster, I guess we have Manta here at like a park where you're like laying down on your stomach, right?
Yeah.
I guess I could do that.
But it's like totally not the same.
No, like look at this.
Yeah, that's like, it's amazing. You guys gotta
Like,
watch this
so,
video. It's incredible.
where he puts his hands, like that is incredible to me. I just like how they lock in.
But that's also really scary because like if you're like flying down there at 90 miles an hour and like you get really nervous, like how do you pull your hands out of that little pocket real quick?
You'll have to hear it. He's like you have to just give in to the speed. You can't fear it. If you're like afraid of it, you start to separate from your sled, and like that's when you lose control.
It goes haywire.
Yeah.
I imagine it that like they just seem like they're going so fast and they're like so like tucked in and like
Yeah, because you just have no choice.
Jeez.
It's crazy.
That seems amazing.
Yeah, so we'll probably watch the Winter Olympics start tomorrow, so we'll watch them for sure. We're going to be watching them. People should be watching them.
The Winter Olympics are, in my opinion, they're the best.
I
don't like Summer Olympics.
So,
I only really like swimming and synchronized swimming.
I like synchronized swimming. What else happens in the Summer Olympics? That's the thing, is that I don't really care for track and field stuff.
Yeah.
So I don't, and that's like the headliner, like,
It's pole vault's pretty cool.
Pole vaulting's pretty cool. Shot put, all that stuff. But like, I like
Winter Olympics is amazing.
Yeah, it's weird because I had heard people talking today. They don't really care for the Winter Olympics. Like, people aren't really excited about it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh.
And it's like all month long. Like, I didn't realize it was that long for one thing, but like, I don't understand how people just don't really care for it. I preferred the Winter Olympics over the
I do too.
summer. So
I definitely prefer it.
all right, well,
Go winter.
go winter. I
Go
guess
Olympics.
I guess we'll probably end it there. We're probably like way over our forecasted time was.
Or like 30 minutes. Well, we started at 8.
Well, yeah, we've been going at it for an hour and 40 minutes, but
we had like 30 minutes of technical difficulties.
yeah. So I'm speaking of ordering stuff. I will be ordering a new recording device tomorrow because this did not work. This did not go well.
I know, right? It was a little.
It had a rocky start, but
I don't know what we're doing. I have no idea what we're doing, but I think we'll figure it out along the way. And hopefully, we'll get some, feedback from
listeners.
and
Yeah, just
topics
hit us
and
up on social media.
fun stuff to talk about, or to just not think about life for a little while. All
Yeah,
of your responsibilities.
Just come hang out, have a good time. Check out our Facebook and our Instagram, which are both Between Days Podcast. And then also our website, which is betweendays.com. And you can call us anytime. Leave a voicemail. It will be maybe used on the podcast, or leave us a show topic, something you want to talk about, whatever.
Maybe it's something you saw in the Winter Olympics that you're like, holy crap, this was amazing.
We might just do shows on what we saw in the Winter Olympics for the next 3 weeks. Who knows?
Who knows?
I mean, it's weekly, so be prepared.
Yeah, I mean, it's very likely.
We're going to talk about the Winter Olympics for sure.
Yeah, it's gonna be like fears of potty training and the Winter Olympics.
That's what we're a potty training and Winter Olympics podcast for the next 3 weeks. So I appreciate you guys listening. If you listened, and you made it this far.
Yeah, if you made it this far, congratulations. Gold star to you.
Yeah, seriously, thank you. And if you skipped through it and still made it this far,
gold star to you.
You still you listened. So that's great. So we really appreciate it. And we're going to just keep on plugging away and see what we can come up with, and maybe next show we'll get a little bit better and better and better and better and better, and let's just do this together and hang out and have a good time.
And when all is said and done,
more is said than done.
As round my heart they wove a lay. How I idolize